So this morning was a pretty cool morning. It really was. I woke up like I normally do, 3 o'clock this morning, and went and grabbed my glass of water, walked it down the stairs, and my son has moved into the basement. So originally we had my daughter in the basement, my son at the very top of the house, but my daughter didn't like being down there. She wanted to be up in her Rapunzel tower, so they switched. And Joel's now in the basement. He's got the big apartment suite down there, and Savannah's got her tower in. So I walked downstairs into the basement, and I noticed his room door was open. And normally it's not, but his room door was open. And so I just wanted to go check on him, make sure he was still in there, right? Could have been anywhere in the house. And so I went over and I walked into his room. And when I walked into my son's room, he was laying there in bed sleeping. And his Alexa, he's got an Alexa device, and his Alexa was playing worship music. His Alexa was playing worship music. And it made me tear up a little bit in that moment, and it's making me tear up a little bit right now. That boy he's such a spiritual boy. He's so in tune. He's so in tune with God in his life, man. And he celebrates him all the time. He's just a good kid, man. He's just a good kid. And so it touched my heart. And I wanted to share it with you because Joel is going to be at he'll be at the event with us here in 2 weeks. And at the last event, Joel came up to me and he said, "Dad, I want to sing a song." And at the last event, he went up on stage in front of 400 people and he sang "I Can Only Imagine" as we all wept like a bunch of babies. And something tells me he's working on something else for this particular event in November. So just wanted to share that story with you. Your kids are watching, man. Your kids are watching. Your kids are learning. Your kids are growing. Be a good leader. Be a good example. And it goes a long way. Let's dive in. Today's episode of Rise and Grind. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right. Today is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, October 22nd, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Listen, we are 2 weeks away from the live celebration of the final episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. That's right. There are 11 episodes left. 11 episodes left. Can you believe it? 11 episodes away from 1,000 episodes. We've done 989, I guess it'll be at the end of this one. 989 episodes of hashtag Rise and Grind. So we've got 11 episodes left, including today, which we will be celebrating that 1,000th episode, hopefully you and I together in Lexington, Kentucky. But I got to tell you, like, I'm still having a hard time wrapping my brain around it. Like, I can't believe it. Hashtag Rise and Grind. This show has been a tremendous part of my life for nearly 4 years now. Literally every decision we've made as a family, every decision on what flights to take, every decision on what time to go to bed, every decision on what to eat and what not to eat, every decision on what to say and what not to say, what to wear and what not to wear, right? Like literally what to pack, what not to pack, the studio equipment that I travel with all over the place, which studio equipment to take, to not take, buying additional equipment. We've spent, I don't know, who knows how much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars on this particular program. Like, it has been a tremendous part of my life and my family's life for the last 4 years. This show, hashtag Rise and Grind. What's up, Darian? I see my boy Darian's on Instagram. This show, hashtag Rise and Grind, has taken me from employee at an amazing company to employer of what I believe is an amazing company. Now, maybe I'm the owner, so I should probably say that. But it's taken me from employee to employer. This show has taken me from 6 kids to 8 kids. Right? From 6 kids to 8 kids, including my little Oakland, who's just the sweetest thing ever. This show has taken me from California all the way over to Greece and literally everywhere in between. Like every state you can think of in between, I've been there thanks to the relationships, the connections that have been built on this show right here, right? It has taken me from a local car guy in Paris, Kentucky, to a global inspirer, where I've had the opportunity to inspire people in 172 different countries, I believe is what it shows Rise and Grind has been streamed into. It has taken me from a reader of books to an author. So far, an author of 1 book. But ultimately, it's taken me from a reader to an author. And I think most importantly, this show is taking me from what I was to who I am. This show, hashtag Rise and Grind, has been the catalyst of 99% of the relationships that I have in my life right now. My relationship with you stemmed from this show. The relationships I had prior to Rise and Grind, to be honest with you, there's very few of those relationships I still have. Darian's my boy. He's been around for a while. There's a couple from the auto dealership. Not a ton, but a few from the dealership. And, of course, my wife and my kids and my family. But other than that, most of my friendships, my mentors, my coaches, my buddies, my partners, all of those things have literally stemmed from this show. Hashtag Rise and Grind. And so it's bittersweet in some ways, right? As we count down to the 1,000th episode, it's definitely bittersweet. Like, I really do love the production. I love putting the productions together. I love the tech. I love the studio, the microphones, the cameras, the lights. Like, I totally love the process, right? I love the process that we get to go through, or that I get to go through on this show. And right now, I thought that video was, as I say that, I started a video a little bit earlier than I wanted to. And so you guys are probably looking at that going, Glenn, your face and words are not matching up on the screen. But that's okay. There we go. This is where I wanted it to be. So I love the process. And I love how I consistently get messages. I consistently get messages from people. And the message says this. It says, Glenn Lundy, you changed my life. And man, I tell you, man, those 4 words, you changed my life. Those are powerful words every time I read them, you know? And so when I get those messages, it's just like, dang, that's what's up. And so it's bittersweet in many ways, but here's the thing. You see, the journey continues on, right? Like, it's not bigger and better, okay? Where we're headed is not necessarily better than where we've come from. The impact that has been made over the last 4 years is just as valuable as the impact that will be made in the next 4 to 40. It's not anything about better. It's just simply time for what's next. You see, the rock climber must let go. The rock climber must let go of the previous handholds in order to climb. That's the only way, right? And so sometimes we have to let go of certain things in order to reach what's next. But here's the great news in this whole entire thing. It's all good news. I mean, it's all probably great news, but here's the really, really great news. The really great news is I don't have to go alone. That's the great news. I don't have to go alone, right? Like, you get to come with me. We've said it for the longest time, right? We rise, evolve, and impact. Keyword, if you look at the t-shirts, a lot of you own this t-shirt, right? If you look at the t-shirt, the big word that's highlighted the most on the t-shirt is together. We rise every day with intention and purpose so we can evolve into the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, ultimately so we can go out and make an impact in other people's lives, and we do it together. So you get to go with me, right? So I'm going to need you to strap in. I'm going to need you to strap in. I'm going to need you as my co-pilot as we take off and go into flight, all right? And together, let's see how far we can go. Fair enough? Fair enough. Now, first, though, before I talk about how far I believe we can go and where we are going, you know what we got to do on this show? You know we got to do some dancing. And we're going old school, Tony with the keys style. Hashtag Rise and Grind, baby. That's what it's all about. Boom. There it is. Instagram, you guys probably always think I'm crazy because I'm dancing around and you can't hear no music. But the people over on Facebook can hear some music. The people on Clubhouse can hear some music. Instagram needs to get their stuff together so I can play some music over in there too. That would be great. Hey, for those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. All right? I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. So if you're on Instagram, share it out right now. Now's the time. Facebook, hit the share button. Got it. Clubhouse, hit the plus sign. Bottom right hand corner of your screen. Invite some people to come join us here on hashtag Rise and Grind. All right? Now, this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live, you're watching on replay, you're connected on YouTube, you're listening to the podcast, wherever you're at, or Clubhouse, I want you to connect with me, all right? Say good morning. So, good morning, Jessica. I see you. How you doing, Arisha? I'm glad you're here. Healthy Coffee Club, good morning. I'm glad you're here as well. The Real Mariana Thomas, great to see you. What's up, Glow Tidy CEO? Great to see you this morning. Young Access, Young Faces Smiling. Good to see you. What's up, Linda Sims? I see you, Tim Hunt. I also see over on Facebook, my man Jeremy Noling is over here. What's up, Brad Smith? How you doing, Liz Thompson? Melvin Rodriguez, what up? I see Sol Salcido and Mike Romano. My man Mike's in the house. I see Sherry Phillips and Don Sankey. Jojo Laricia is up in here. Gina Duffy, Kim Fair, Tina Kelly Overfelt. Dr. Rowe is in the building. Deborah Stencil, Rick Green, Marilyn Wilkin, Simona Holloway, Nikki Russell, Nathania Banks, Tristan Smith. Of course, my man Doug Thurston, always supporting, which I appreciate. And Terry Collins is up in here. Janelle Griego, Jessica Current is in the building. Over on Clubhouse, I see Gilbert and Kimberly and Pam. I see Scott and Antonio and Tony Moe. I see Tosh and Kate and Douglas and Mary Lynn. I see G.I. is in the building. I see Gregory and Michael and Cher and Ramon. I see Michelle and L.A. Williams, the blind master, in the building. I see Phil. I see Jennifer. I see Michael. I see Mighty Mel. I see Carmelia is up in here. What's up, Carmelia? And the one and only Barbara Majeski is in the building. Also, Broadway performer, Mr. Lion King on Broadway, Darian Sanders. What up, D? I am so glad you're here with us today, man. It is great to see you. Listen, it is great to see you all right here digitally. It's going to be even more powerful when I get to see you live in person in Lexington, Kentucky, starting 2 weeks from today. Now listen, if you can't be there 2 weeks from today, well then be there 2 weeks and a day, or 2 weeks and 2 days, because we're going all weekend long. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're all going to be together, all right, in Lexington, Kentucky, and I need you to be there. If you haven't got your tickets yet, the time's getting close. You got 14 days, so go ahead and grab your ticket, all right? We're going to celebrate the 1,000th episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind, and then we're also going to have over 20 different speakers, all of which you've met at some time before here on the platform. I've interviewed each and every single one of them, and they're going to be there pouring into you in a new and insightful and delightful way, and you're going to have the opportunity to network with these people, to get to know these people. Maybe you need a new mentor. Maybe you need a new coach, like Brian was talking about a little bit earlier. There's going to be tons of them in Lexington, Kentucky. So listen, if you haven't done so, go get your ticket, growforgod.com. That's right, growforgod.com. Go get your ticket, and I'll see you in Lexington, Kentucky. Fair enough? Fair enough. All right, cool. So check it out. Hashtag Rise and Grind is coming to an end. That brings up the question, what's next? So let's cast the vision, shall we? Let's cast the vision of what's next. Since you are going with me as my co-pilot on this journey, I think it might help if you understand and know our destination. So the first thing that is going to happen next, starting November 8th, 2021, which will be the first day in 4 years that we will not have a 5:30 a.m. live Hashtag Rise and Grind show. So the first thing that's going to happen is I am going to sleep in for about a week. I'm just going to be honest with you. I am going to sleep in for about a week. I am not waking up until 5:10 a.m. for the week of November 8th. I'm just letting you all know. I'm getting one more full sleep cycle. My sleep cycles are 2 hours and 10 minutes. I've been getting up at 3 a.m. I am sleeping in until 5:10 a.m. I don't care what anybody says. I've earned that. I'm going to do that for one full week. All right. It's going to be miraculous. I just know it. So that's where we're going to start. And you can't technically join me on that particular journey, but I'm just letting you know I'm going to be in bed. So I'm going to sleep till 5:10 a.m. That is priority number one for that first week. All right. Then I'm going to go back to 4 a.m. All right. So after that first week, I'm going to go back to 4 a.m. 4 a.m. wake up call, and I'm going to wake up at 4, and I am going to do what I always do, what I have done, which is I'm going to dive into my morning 5, right? 5 simple steps to an extraordinary life. Okay. So the mornings will stay the same. The time that I wake up will change just a little bit, but the morning will stay the same. The morning 5 does not change whatsoever, and I am going to continue to write. I have been writing this show. It takes me about 30, 40 minutes to write each show. So I have been literally writing for 30 to 40 minutes a day, every day for the last 4 years, every weekday. I have notebook after notebook after notebook. I have these Rise and Grind notebooks that I made for myself that I love. And I have, I don't know how many of these, 50, 60 of these that are just completely full. Each one of them is the size of an actual book. So think about how many books we could have written if we were writing books instead of shows. So I am going to continue writing. Now that I have that discipline and that habit of writing for 30 to 40 minutes a day, I'm going to continue with that, except for instead of writing shows, I am going to write the 3 books that I have outlined that have been collecting dust on the shelf. I believe that books are the most powerful objects on the planet. If you think about it, the most powerful object of all time is this book, right? This historic book called the Bible. It's the #1 best-selling book of all time, 3.6 billion copies. And that book has literally completely altered and shifted the course of human history, right? And so books are incredibly powerful. And there are 3 of them that I've been meaning to write, and I haven't yet. So I'm going to use that time in the morning to write these 3 books. All right. One of them is going to be called Corporate Family Values. And that is a book that will be written for the automotive industry primarily. Most business owners will get value out of it, but that is going to be my contribution to the auto world on top of what I've already been doing in the auto world and plan on continuing to do in the auto world. So Corporate Family Values. There's also a book that is actually titled #Rise and Grind, and the word hashtag is spelled out. It's not just a hashtag. It is spelled out, #Rise and Grind. And in that book, we're going to talk about this movement of Rise and Grind, how other people can create their own movements and the impact that it's had on this planet. So we're going to tell that story. And then the third book is a book called 2 Doors Down, When 2 Worlds Collide. And 2 Doors Down, When 2 Worlds Collide, that book is basically breaking down the story of my life, but we're going to do it in a very thoughtful and unique way. It's going to be delivered in a very, very thorough manner, which is combining my story with self-development key takeaways, mixed in with some poetry and a splash of music, right? Because music really, really, really moves me. I think it moves a lot of people. And this particular book, 2 Doors Down, this book is the one that's going to go global, okay? This book is the one that's going to be the New York Times bestseller, all right? And so I'm going to write those 3 books. Meanwhile, while we're writing those 3 books, we are going to attack the podcast and social audio space. Okay? So listen, audio is the new video. You know how they say orange is the new black or whatever? Audio is the new video. I know that's crazy to think about because it's almost going backwards, right? We had radio shows back in the 50s. Now we're in full video. But dude, I'm telling you, audio is the new video. And here's why. The convenience of content consumption is playing a massive impact in how we consume information. You see, we now, in today's day and age, we anticipate and expect things to happen quickly. We like to consume content in small bites versus long meals. Audio delivers in the car. Audio delivers when you're on a run. Audio delivers while you're flying on the plane, right? Audio delivers in all of these different spaces, okay? And everywhere in between. So we're going to show up. I wonder why the volume would be lower on Instagram. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, she said her volume's normal. Okay, thank you. Audio delivers everywhere. And we're going to show up leading the charge in that space. Audio will propel our mission, okay? Audio will propel our message. Audio is going to take our message further than any other form can. Listen, podcasts, social audio rooms, even audibles, right? Audible books. All of these things are on the horizon for us at 10x levels versus what you see now. We can literally reach the darkest corners of this planet through audio. It's really the only path. Even when we look at nationally syndicated TV, which we're going to talk about next, even when we look at global TV, even when we look at any of those things. Dude, podcasts, audio world, there's no boundaries, there's no geography. We can reach the deepest, darkest corners of this planet, okay? So that's the audio side. Now, then on top of that, there's the show, okay? I have recently been exposed to, and I am learning so much about how television actually works and the impact that television has on dang near everything, right? And so for us to create in the space of television, national and global, is integral for our long-term growth and sustainability. It's integral. So due to the power of television, us breaking into those spaces is going to be a crucial component of what we do moving forward. Now, breaking into national and global television is simply not easy. Anybody can go live, do a Facebook show, an Instagram show. Anybody can create their own show online. That part's easy. Tapping into national and global networks, not easy. But I have been able to identify some breadcrumbs that we can follow to get there. For example, one of those breadcrumbs is having a New York Times best-selling book. That's going to give us some street cred, okay? Also, one of the breadcrumbs is having a large, actively engaged following. So we need to continue to expand our following through audio, through social media channels, all the way across. And then the last, not last, there's many breadcrumbs, but another one that I will identify is we have to make sure that we are leaders in certain spaces. So we have to really lead out in this audio is the new video epic season that we're in, all right? We really need to lead out when it comes to changing the way people start the day, right? We got to be first in that space. So by doing those three things, having that New York Times best-selling book, having that large and active engaged audience, and then being a leader in our spaces is going to help us break into national and global television, as well as I have developed some relationships with people who can help us on that, okay? And what does that look like when we go to national and global television? What does that look like? Well, it's going to look kind of like a Johnny Carson style show. Okay, it's Johnny Carson style. If you don't know who Johnny Carson is, look him up. Maybe you say, maybe for your generation it's Jay Leno. Maybe for your generation it's Jimmy Kimmel. But it's going to have a Johnny Carson. It's going to be the Johnny Carson style that they do in the Tonight Show, but in the morning. So the show is going to include motivation, education, and inspiration. It's also going to include celebrity interviews and interactive audience participation. It's also going to be an opportunity for people to see behind the curtain of some of the most successful people on the planet. It's going to be an opportunity for people to be a fly on the wall and to ultimately listen in and be connected with some of the greatest and most achieved humans on the planet. Now, let me ask you a question. Does that sound familiar to you? The reason that might sound familiar to you is because we've been saying this for years now. You see, the pieces of the puzzle might change, but the mission stays the same. We show up and we hunt down, literally, we hunt down those that God wants us to influence. You see, a lot of times we as humans, we spend a lot of time trying to figure out how we're going to get there. And here's what I want to challenge you to do today. Stop trying to figure out how you're going to get there and just decide where it is you're going. You see, that's how God works. God is like a GPS system. You choose, power of choice. You choose the destination. You input that destination of choice. And then God, just like the GPS, will figure out the best path that you need to go on to get there. God will say turn left at the next light. In 800 feet, turn right? Like he'll guide you. Let God be the guide. Quit trying to figure out the how. Just figure out where you're going. You see, people look at me and say, Glenn, how do you do all this? I don't know how. I don't think about the how. It drives my team crazy, to be honest with you, a lot of the times. I just know where I'm going. And so this is the vision. This is what's next. This is what the journey I want you to join me on. This is what we've got plugged into the navigation system, and God is going to guide us along the way. How do I know that? How can I have faith in that? Listen, I am a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And I believe you are too. And that God calls each and every single one of us to step into the absolute best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. And he has guided my life up to this point. And I know that he will continue to do so going forward for both me and you. As we climb and step into our greatness, that decision, that choice ultimately makes an impact. It makes an impact on our friends, on our family members, on our coworkers. Every decision you make, every decision I make makes an impact on those that God has chosen for us to influence. My son sits in his room listening to worship music on Alexa as he goes to bed every night because God chose me to be his father and his mom, Leslie Lundy, to be his mother. And what he sees in us, he acts out in real life. IRL. Our love for God shines through our children. That's the type of impact you have on those around you. So listen, I am excited to go on this journey with you. So excited. And I need you to know I absolutely love you. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. And along with that, I am calling you to figure out what that destination is. Quit wasting time on the how. Let's plug that sucker in and see how we can carry each other into the greatest versions of ourselves we can possibly be. Fair enough? Fair enough. Listen, if you need more episodes like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. There's tons of them up there. If you haven't got your tickets yet for the Grow for God conference, please do so. Go to growforgod.com. Join me. This is going to be an epic celebration 2 weeks from now. Epic celebration. We're going to learn so much. We will be motivated. We will be educated. We will be inspired. And it will be the launch of this incredible plane that we are all on together that's going to take us to the next levels of impact on this planet. So make sure you join me 2 weeks from now. Go to growforgod.com. Most importantly, though, come back here again Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. And if you want to talk more about this kind of stuff today, come join me over on Clubhouse, Breakfast with Champions. I'm going to head over there right now, and we're going to keep chatting around the vision that is you and I's destiny. Fair enough? Let's go.